Welcome back to episode 3 of Gleefully Grumpy Podcast, a podcast where we complain responsibly about the frustrations of modern life through humor, reflection, and conversation. This week's podcast is sponsored by Blurred Work Leisure Boundaries and Double Espresso. I have been noticing that many people feel tired these days. That's because they're paying attention. True. I also saw an article in the conversation the other day talking about how our work lives never stop even after quitting time. So there's emails and Slack messages and WhatsApp. And it seems like a lot of companies have a very long after hours reach. There were promises of technology supposedly making our lives freer. Well, I think it has in some ways, such as online banking, medical technology advancements, video calls, GPS. GPS is useful. I like it too. I didn't say I liked it. I said it was useful. Fair enough. But getting back to my original point about after hours messages, I think many people, myself included, check their emails while they're relaxing because they think, oh, it'll only take a moment to respond. But those little check ins have a habit of growing. One email becomes a conversation, the conversation becomes a task, and before you know it, you've donated an hour of your evening to work. Oh, yes, unpaid overtime's sneakiest cousin. I'll just take a quick look. I've caught myself doing it. I'll check an email while watching TV, and suddenly I'm back in work mode. Uh-huh. That's because you're a masochist. Nobody forces me to check. Sometimes it's automatic. The worst supervisor is our own inner critic. It keeps office hours 24 hours a day. Studies have found that people who keep checking work emails have a harder time psychologically detaching from work. If I see one more email marked quick question, I'm moving into the woods. Have you ever ignored a work email once? What happened? The world continued. Interesting. That's when I started questioning workplace urgency. People should be able to disconnect once the workday has ended. Many people, myself included, just think it's easier to answer the email and get it out of the way. Most emails are not emergencies. If it needs your immediate attention, they should be calling you. But even you're guilty of responding to after-hours messages. That was different. How was it different? I wanted them to know how annoyed I was. But that was me. Oh. We can talk about this later. No. Anyway, the research suggests giving your brain a clear signal that the workday is done. Like dramatically slamming your laptop shut? No, less dramatic. Before you finish work, write down what you've completed. Then write down what needs to be done next. And that task is the first task you'll tackle the next day. This sends a signal to your brain that you can relax because you've made a plan of action. Of course, there's extra work involved in planning tomorrow's to-do list. Another way to handle emails is by checking them intentionally instead of constantly. So, in other words, check emails a few times throughout the workday, but after hours, focus on your personal life. Sounds better than treating every email as an emergency. Exactly. But what will my anxiety do if there's not a task to rush to finish? A lot of people benefit from having a transition ritual between work and home life, such as a walk, stretching, tea, music, gardening, removing one's bra, especially that one. Light a candle, relax. Forget the candle. Put on dance music and get the noisemakers. It's time to celebrate freeing the twins. You know, there is a word for describing the urge to respond immediately: anxiety, telepressure. That sounds like over the phone acupressure. It's the feeling that you need to answer right now. It's why insomnia persists. Some governments have passed right to disconnect laws, like in France and Ontario. It requires larger employers to have a written policy about after hours communications. So some governments have a written policy that corporations have written policies. Yes, not a ban. No. So I can still get an email at 9 p.m.? Yes. And if I ignore it, that depends on your job and your workplace culture. Ah, unspoken expectations. If I'm not being paid, why do I need to attend to it? That's one reason unions and collective bargaining became important. Just because someone can reach me after hours doesn't mean they're granted access, especially if it's not an emergency. Good boundary. I have one occasionally. Thank you for letting me complain. You mean complain responsibly? No, just complain. I don't answer complaints after 5 p.m. What about emergencies? Such as a house fire? Acceptable. Work email? I'll answer it tomorrow. Until next time, take care of yourselves.